Season 9 is about to drop, and most players are going to be prepping wrong, locking themselves into poverty. Meanwhile, you'll be eating like a king while the rest of the server roleplays as peasants. New artifacts, new perks, and easy gold, but only if you know where to look. Stick around because I'm going to give you the whole Season 9 cheat sheet, from crafting tricks to gold flipping, and all the ways to get ahead before the launch. Let's get you rich before day 1, boys. The first thing we should be focusing on is always our daily and weekly, since when the Season 9 comes, they are adding new weapons. So what dailies and weeklies should we be focusing on? Well, I'd recommend coming over here to your wishing well in Cutlass Keys, the Well of Fortune here, and make sure you're buying your golden keys. Now you can look to grab your gypsum orbs here if you want as well for 10 doubloons. I think that is definitely worthwhile. You can also look to buy some of these honing stones here as well. Why are these honing stones? These right now are $100 on the market, so I just made 500 grand. Gemstone dust can also be worth buying if your server is expensive. Well, for the other things, I recommend not really getting the other stuff too much. Check your server for gemstone dust or honing stones or oak flesh. All these can be worth quite a bit. After that, let's head over to our faction vendor here. My guy is a strong, independent marauder right here. And we're going to look to go to our rewards. And now there's daily rewards you can collect every day. Make sure you have Chromatic Seals for the new season coming up. This will allow you to upgrade your artifact and new gear if you're wanting to grab those. It takes 3 for armor and 1 per artifact, so make sure you have enough here. Make sure to buy your Chromatic Seals in here, and these are generally free. 10k is very easy to get if you do your daily faction quests. Now, why are these gypsum orbs and all that stuff so important? Well, we're gonna head over to the trading post. If we just type in honing, and the powerful one right now is 90 bucks. We just made 5 of these, so about $500, pretty easy. If we look in the matrix right now, armor, jewelry, whichever one suits your fancy, these are also selling for a decent amount. Now when the new season updates, these should go up in prices. I recommend always just putting in buy orders for pretty much everything. It will always come back into your pockets, so we just want to grab. So just put a buy order up and then sell yours on the market. It's an easy way to make usually a couple hundred gold. Now, what about your weeklies that we really should be focusing on? Well, if you have friends, unlike me, you can do your Gorgon, Raid, and the Worm. I recommend doing the Worm every week if you can. If you can't, sucks to be you. Just like me, I gave up on that a long time ago because I don't have any friends. But another weekly you want to be doing is traveling over to Cutlass Keys and to this way shrine right here. Now once we travel to this way shrine, we're going to want to run down all the way down here. Remember that key we bought earlier? Well, you can use it right here on this check, the lock doubloon cache. I would actually wait for this simply due to the fact that they said they're going to be increasing the amount of doubloons you can grab when season 10 comes around. We need to enter the PvP zone in order to grab the golden cursed coconut. Now once we enter the PvP zone, you will be forced to flag up. Now don't be scared. Usually people are too skittish to attack you, especially on the border down here. If you go up through this side, I find that PvP is much more frequent if you're on a more populated server, but don't worry, my server is more dead than a graveyard, so we'll be just fine down here. You want to head into the settlement down here, and we'll be looking for these big chests. These big chests have a chance to give you a coconut once a week, and down here is generally safe. These are used to upgrade your artifacts to 725, and since we're getting new artifacts, we'll want to make sure we have at least 3 or 4 of these for the next season. So once you find your cursed hoard like I did, you're going to want to come over here and grab it. And we'll open it and we'll get 28 cursed doubloons. So no coconut for me sadly, but I am right here on the map, and you just want to keep running around opening those big chests until eventually you strike gold. And there we got a golden cursed coconut. Bam, we're right here on the map. All right, once you get back to your main city, I am personally like Windswood. I recommend do your daily crafts. That would be crafting your Asmodium and your prismatic ingots. These can generally net anywhere between 300 to 2,000 gold a day, depending on the server that you're playing on, so make sure you do check that out. Another equip tip, if you want to make the most bang for your buck, is you can always come in here, type iron ingots, sell your iron ingots for whatever price you want. So here, let's just sell mine for $117. And you can go over here to a buy order and just buy them for like half the price and just buy 200. Not only are we getting free iron, but we're making some money on it too. Big stonks going up. See, just made some money. Stonks going up, boys. What about the most broken perk in the entire game? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably living under a rock. This perk right here, Vital Synergy. Man, is this thing OP. While health is below 50%, you gain 15% stamina regen. And while stamina is below 50%, incoming healing is increased by 15%. This thing is completely overpowered, and you should get this if you have the money for it. Now, on my server, one piece is going for 300,000 gold. Extremely expensive, but it's definitely worth putting on one of your pieces by using an armor matrix and going to the crafter. But there is one thing I should note, is that in Season 10, New World did say they're going to change the endgame perk system and farming system, so this perk will probably be nerfed to the ground. That will happen on late October, more than likely. So if you don't want to waste that money and you want to wait until after October, you can do that. But just know this perk will be getting completely gutted at the end of October this year. Now, so how do you get that perk through craft mods? Well, it's called the Soul Heart Alternator. And on my server, it's selling for 62,000 gold. How is this possible? I don't even know how. This shit is insane. I'm over here in the sewer eating the slop off the ground. Meanwhile, the kings are buying these soul heart alternators for my entire gold stash. This is insanity. But if you want a quick way to make gold, I recommend placing a buy order and selling these. These can make a huge amount of profit. Now, do keep in mind, these will go down quickly over time. So you have to be very fast with this or you will lose gold. Now, what about your crafting skills and what should you focus on for the next season, aka season 9? Well, I think the most profitable one will always be cooking. Cooking is super broken and it gives you an insane amount of money. Same with weaponsmithing. Weaponsmithing is also insanely broken. Not only can you make a matrix with this, but you also can make honing stones, which also sell for an extremely high price. And the third one I recommend is armoring. But let's take a look at some cooking stuff that is completely unhinged. If we type in sunrise here, this is going for 35 gold a pop. On my server, it costs 15 gold to make this. And when you craft this, you generally make anywhere between 4 to 6 of these. So you're making insane profit. Like, I mean, uncanny amount of gold here. I'm too lazy to do this, but if you want the freest gold in New World, I recommend cooking. No one does it. There's probably 1 or 2 people on my entire server controlling this market, and they are making fortunes from this. And they don't even have to do anything but buy the materials off the market and then resell the sunrise. Another good example of this is honing stone. Powerful honing stones are going for $90 right now. That is also way overpriced, and you can also make good money from this as well. Not as much as food, but powerful honing stones are another great source of money. Same by selling matrices. People in general always want to have buffs on them. They always want their honing stone buff. They always want their food buffs, so sunrise, and then their food of their choice. I recommend always selling con food because everyone will use con food generally, because usually it's cheaper and it fits for every build. If you guys are also wondering what the best potions are for PvP or to focus on, you want these infused burst regen pots. These are incredibly overpriced again on my server, so you can level up arcane if you want to make some money off that as well. I like the regenerating serums. These are also insanely overpriced as people are monopolizing the market. So if you want to make some money as well, I recommend leveling up arcane and make bank, dude. These things are very OP. Now, New World Aeternum is releasing new artifacts. We know 4 of them will be either weapons or stuff you can already get in the game. One of them being the Grey Wizard hat is getting a huge rework. We don't know what it is, but I would imagine they'll keep the theme of it being a mage hat. You can go right here and farm him. A guy sitting here, you can farm and kill him and he will drop that hat. There's also, you generally can do this either through a merc run or you have to wait until people want to do it in global chat. The reason why I recommend doing this is because generally when they rework things in video games, they tend to be overpowered the next patch. And I would imagine them to keep the mage theme behind the hat. So if you are a melee build, I'd recommend avoiding this. But if you are a mage, I highly recommend coming over here and picking this up. The next thing they're going to be doing is the life staff. I don't have it on me, but it's called the Vengeance Life Staff. They'll be reworking that as well. That is only for healers, and the way you get that is by completing the PvP track. So healers, if you want a good artifacts next patch, I recommend doing the PvP track because once again, they generally tend to make these things kind of overpowered when they rework them since they don't know what to do with them and they want to make them relevant again, so they'll make them OP so people go out and get them. Creates basically free content. Now they're also adding 2 new weapon artifacts, a hammer and a greatsword. The Unison hammer is more of a fun weapon, so if you like memeing around and trolling, I recommend farming your Warhammer XP up so you can grab that hammer and not have to worry about farming your Warhammer levels. The second season 9 comes around, you're like, oh shit, I want to use this cool hammer. If you guys don't know, the Eaterson hammer basically makes it so when you use a Warhammer ability, they go flying across the map like you hit a home run. In baseball, the next weapon is the Greatsword. This is like the Moonlight Greatsword in Elden Ring or Dark Souls. If you ever played those, it's basically when you heavy attack, it shoots out a wave that does 150% damage, basically giving the Greatsword a nice range attack, which could be very useful in PvP. For PvE, the Serenity will just be king, but if you are a PvP enjoyer, I recommend picking that up. Now, if you don't know where to farm your weapon XP, I'm going to show you two of my favorite places. One is over here in Brightwood, and you just want to run the route like so. Come over here, come up top, come back down like this, and you just repeat that route off cooldown. If you want the more chill and AFK route, I recommend coming over to Restless Shores, traveling to this wayshrine, coming over here to this camp, and just doing a full circle in this camp like so, killing them right here. And then you can also run over here, do a full circle again like so. I think it's glitching out, and you just go back and forth. Now, you can't keep this up 100% of the time, so this is the farm I like to do during queue. And if this one is busy, I come over to this farm right here. Once you get your artifacts from your OPR caches, I highly recommend saving these until Season 10. Do not open these. They don't generally give good loot anyways, and when Season 10 rolls around, these could be access to new artifacts, new very strong perks or gear, so I recommend saving all your OPR caches for Season 10, given you already have gotten the artifacts from these. Now, once you arrive here, you just want to run around like so, pull all the enemies and just murder them. This will generally give you a solid 1 to 2k weapon XP, and like I mentioned earlier, I like to do this between queues. Now, what about your season pass? If you want to level out your season pass as fast as possible, I recommend doing your journeys here and leveling them up as well. These will also give you rewards, as you can see below the 0 here. You even get a trophy that increases your overall season XP, allowing you to power through your season pass. I would choose whichever one are easiest or most fun for you to do, but there is another great way to do that, and that's by doing the activity card. Once you come over here to your activity card, you want to fill in the whole card. You can do that with only 5 stands already done, but if you make a mistake, you will need 6 in order to do so. So here I mess up and I'm forced to now put in 6 stamps in order to complete my card. And once I've finally completed my card here, I hit finish. It'll give you a bunch of XP, and we can go over to the next card. I always recommend putting in 1 stamp, and then you can reroll activities here, and you'll get a bonus free stamp here that you can also put in. And then if you hit reroll again, it sadly will not give you another one. If you guys want a more full in-depth guide onto how to do your activity cards, let me know down in the comments below. I can make a way better guide, allowing you to power through your season pass and get those juicy rewards. That's going to be the majority of tips and tricks I have before Season 9. If you guys did enjoy this video or found anything helpful, make sure to hit that like button and comment down below what your favorite tip was, or if you have a tip that you want to share with everyone that I didn't cover. I greatly appreciate all the support. And if you guys want, you can become a YouTube channel member and support the stream and YouTube as well. I would greatly appreciate that, and peace.